Hey guys, Portia here, and today I'm going to be answering questions from the comment sections of various videos. Now, I try to respond to you all, but sometimes life be lifing and I just can't keep up, guys. That's why I'm going to go ahead and dedicate some times directly, or rather specifically, for questions. I figured if one person asks, perhaps others are curious as well. So when you go ahead and use the hashtag #AskPortia, that allows me to filter for your questions, answer them, and some of them will actually end up in a video. So let's go ahead and jump right in. Okay guys, very first question, and I am using my tablet here to help keep me on track, because guys, I will go on a tangent, lose my space and all that other stuff. But the first question is, what type of print are you using? And this comes from a video where I was sublimating on a t-shirt. So the short answer is I am using the Epson ankle tank, and the model is the 2760. Now, I will share with you all the 2760, or the Epson Echo Tank, was not initially, the model that I have is not initially made for sublimation projects, or so it was not a sublimation tool. It was a regular inkjet printer. But I found myself beginning to get interested in sublimation. I had my Epson Echo Tank sitting, guys. It made me so mad because the ink would always dry up and it would not print my inkjet prints correctly, and it was inconsistent. So it was literally sitting collecting dust. Once I got interested in sublimation and I discovered from YouTube University that you can convert that from inkjet to a sublimation printer, I was like, hey, why not? It's sitting here collecting dust. So I was able to easily make the conversion. I will drop the link in the video in case you are interested, from inkjet to sublimation. So that's how I actually ended up using an inkjet for a sublimation printer. And I will say, if you're in business and you're just getting started, it is definitely a great, inexpensive way to go. But I will say, as your business begins to grow, there are a lot of other options out there that may be more efficient. But I will tell you, I like that it is easy to switch out the ink. I do like that my prints do come out consistent, and so far I really haven't had any major problems with using this inkjet ink for my sublimation prints. Now, I will tell you guys what I don't like. Because of my model, it can print a little bit slow. So I will share with you guys, I just did a batch of 100 sublimation tumblers. I was able to print 25 prints at one time. That was the number I was most comfortable with, because I'm printing 25 prints, but I also needed to do, the whole batch was 100, and these prints do take a little bit of time. If I was using a actual sublimation printer, if I was using a newer model, would have taken me less time to actually print. Now, I did plan these prints out, carefully, so I was able to multitask. I was doing other stuff while they were printing, so it really didn't feel like, oh my God, I'm sitting here waiting on 100 prints. It didn't feel like that at all, because I made sure that I planned accordingly. But I will say, the prints do come out a little bit slower, and I do believe it is time for me to upgrade. I am looking to review a new printer. If you guys have any suggestions for me, go ahead and drop it in the comments, because I would love to hear from you guys. It is totally time for me to get something and do something different. Okay guys, question number 2, and the question is, what type of ink do you use? Now, this particular question shows up in multiple videos, because I do a lot of sublimation videos. So I just figured I would go ahead and, like the theme of this video is, answer it now. So the type of ink that I use is Printer's Jack ink. And I hope I said that right. I did, y'all. Like I said, I'm looking at my notes. It is Printer's Jack ink. So I will tell you, I have been rocking with Printer's Jack almost since the beginning of my sublimation journey, which now has been about, I want to say 5 years ago, 4, could be wrong, but it's been a while, y'all, so don't hold me to that actual number. Anywho, when I first started using Sublimation ink, I did not know where to go, where to look, all this other stuff, and I found them on Amazon, and I was like, hey, you know, read the reviews, they seem pretty good, pretty consistent, and so I decided to try it. So that was the very first brand of ink I ever put into my converted sublimation printer. And I will tell you, it was very easy to transfer the ink into the ink wells of my Epson Echo Tank. And then once I put it in there, I did initially have some problems with the print, but I was able to go into their, print colors, guys. I was able to go into their website and pull the ICC profiles, which was I was able to help balance, you know, my colors. Because as a beginner, I was like, what is going on? Like, my orange is pink, my pink is red, my blue is black, my black is purple. So guys, I was all off. I was a little bit discouraged, but I did keep on going. I was like, okay, I'm not the only one having this problem. No, I'm not. And I am a researcher. I'm a problem solver. You will find that trait in a lot of creatives. We try to figure it out, especially when we want to get the job done. And at times we find ourselves doing more troubleshooting than actual work. But my thing is, once you put in the effort and the investment, it's totally worth it, because then you know. When you know, you know. So I will tell you now, though, one of the other things I like about the printer jack, when I first started, I had to go look for the ICC profile. But since they've updated that, where you no longer actually need that, so I didn't have to make those adjustments in my computer settings and all that other stuff. And so now I pretty much just get the ink, put it in there, and I am good to go, and my colors are balanced the way I need them to be. So that is definitely a pro, and that is actually why it has become one of my favorites. Now I will share with you all, over the years I've had the opportunity to use other inks. Now I will tell you, don't mix the inks, because there are different formulas from different brands, and you could cause yourself a little bit of trouble, so don't do that. But when my ink wells do run dry, I take that as an opportunity to try something different. I have tried Hippo ink, and I can't think of the other brand. Oh, Cosmos. They weren't too bad either. They were actually pretty good, but I find myself returning back to Printers Jack. Now there will be a link in the description right to my Amazon store that will also have their brand of ink and pretty much all of my favorite, like sublimation supplies, also vinyl supplies, a little bit of everything you're gonna find there. Okay guys, question number 3, and this question is, where do you get that many tumblers? So let me share with you all the background. As I mentioned earlier, I just did a bulk order of 100 sublimation tumblers. So that was like one of the first questions. Where'd you get all them tumblers from? It tickled me. I thought it was really funny. So I did get that particular set of tumblers from Amazon. Now, Amazon is not my normal tumbler supplier. I usually like to get my tumblers from Johnson Plastic Plus, because over the years I have grown to know their quality, their consistency, and then I know what my prints are going to look like when I sublimate them onto the tumblers. But I think they had like a batch of 25, and I didn't like the price for just 25 alone. So I did go on Amazon, and I was able to find a batch of 50, and I thought that the price was decent. I will share with you all that batch of 50. Let me look at my notes here. That was 180. So I did go ahead and get the 2 batches of 50. Now, what I liked was, I was surprised because this was my first time using this particular brand, and I will link them in the description, and also they will be in my Amazon store. But I will tell you that I like the quality. Sometimes I purchase off of Amazon and the coating on the tumblers have been a little bit bumpy, but I will tell you, every single last 100 of those tumblers were super smooth and no bumps whatever. Each tumbler came with its own rubber base. It came with 2 straws, so the straight straw as well as the bendy straw, and then it also had the straw breast for cleaning. So especially when you're giving these away as like gifts or even just to sell, to have that just adds to the overall experience for the customer or the person receiving the gift. And now when you think about it, guys, let's think about cost. So the cost was $180 per set of 50, but on average, if you're selling a full wrap sublimation tumbler that is personalized, because I did put the names on these particular tumblers, you're gonna sell it for at least $20, very least $20. So we got design there, we have materials, we have I lost my thought, guys. We have your design, you have the materials that you use to create it, and then actually the tumblers itself. So when you put in their materials, labor into consideration, you are certainly going to get your coins back. Especially as a small business owner, you want to be careful how you charge, and if someone thinks that something is too expensive, they may not be the customer for you and you may not be the seller for them. That's okay, because someone who values your work, someone who values your time and effort will absolutely pay for what it is that you have to share. But guys, that is all I have for you today. I just wanted to share with you 3 questions that came up in my comment section. Now, this is something that I would like to do regularly. And as I mentioned at the top of the video, just go ahead and hashtag for me, Ask Porcha, and then I'll be able to pull out those questions. And like I said, some of these will actually end up in the video. If you got any questions or concerns, emotional outbursts, let me know. If you found this video helpful, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. And guys, I want you to remember, stay colorful, stay creative, and always find joy in the little things you do. Until next time, peace.